Tharaka North and Chiakariga. All the officers represented here, good afternoon once again. It gives me great joy to stand here in front of you this afternoon because I've been in Tharaka for many years. Although nilikuwa nimepotea kidogo, there's been a lot of questions of where did you go to, how comes you are not continuing with what you used to do, but I believe God knows why such a time as this was planned, so that we can be able to respond and to explain what actually transpired. So I know that he has introduced me as Integrated Aid Services, but of course we are known as International Aid Services Kenya. I will tell you how Integrated came along. But I'm not here alone. I'm here with my colleague, Absalom Edewa.
Yes,
you can
Absalom Edewa in
Thank you. So IAS started working in Kenya, not really in Kenya, but in Tharaka. I want to focus on Tharaka. IAS started working in Tharaka, Nithi County, almost 20 years ago. So you can imagine, 20 years ago. And the way we started responding to Tharaka Nithi is that there were some colleagues that visited Tharaka Nithi, and they got in touch with a certain bishop who said that huku Tharaka kuna njaa sana, lazima mkuje msaidie. So what happened is that we, as an organization, began responding through relief interventions. And through those relief interventions, there were a group of farmers around this area called Manyirani farmers who actually approached the organization and requested if the organization can help them to pull the water from the river so that they can do farming. They wasitegemee relief every time. And that is what actually happened. So one of the biggest projects that we've done here in Tharaka, actually Tharaka South, is actually Manyirani Water Project, which, of course, the water department was very key. I can see Mr. Nabea there, who was actually involved with the survey of that pipeline, and we were able to complete it. And even after handing over that project over 5 years ago, the project is still functional. It means that the community took it very seriously, and we also are grateful to the government department for ensuring that the project continues. You know, many projects are established, and then after some time, hazionekani, si ndio? So we are grateful for that. So the organization has been working in Tharaka for those many years. And we had a number of projects. In fact, one of the projects was also the school feeding project that you are aware of, that we've been doing. We started with 37 primary schools, then we narrowed down to 15 primary schools that we were supporting with food, lunch meals every day here in Tharaka South. Then the organization had a bigger vision for Tharaka because we wanted to establish Tharaka as a resilience hub. But we were not just working alone. Of course, as an organization, we wanted to work with all the other stakeholders because we had a resilience model that we call the 7-pillar resilience model, which could not be achieved by just one project or just one person, one organization. So we needed everyone to come on board. And we are grateful because we've also using the quadruple helix model. Quadruple helix model is where we bring together the private sector, the government, the civil society, and the academia on board so that we can all work together to ensure that we address the challenges that the people of Tharaka Nithi were facing. So these interventions continue. So we had a number of projects. We were working with different donors. And one of the donors that we were working with was called CKU. This is Center for Church-Based Development from Denmark. So the funds were being channeled through IAS Denmark. You've seen somebody from IAS Denmark. So this project, we called it CKU. The project had 2 phases implemented in Tharaka. So we were able to do a phase 1, which actually began in 2020. And the project was focusing on building resilience here in Tharaka Nithi. So we did phase 1 and phase 2. So both phases were covering 2 years. So we ended in July 2024 for phase 2. Of course, we started discussing a phase 3 that will now be a closeout for the project to be able now to wind up and to see that we've actually accomplished what we intended to accomplish. So out of these 2 phases, the project actually had good results. We were able, some of the things that we were able to see after the implementation of this project was livelihood diversification. Actually, we were covering Tharaka South, Tharaka North, and Chiakariga sub-counties. We also were able to see increased rainwater harvesting practices because the water was focusing on rainwater harvesting to sustain crops during the dry season. We were also able to see pasture development, and we were able to see some advocacy issues escalated towards the duty bearers. We were able to see farmer-based cooperatives established, and that is where also Mr. Mwaniki from the Cooperatives Department was very key in partnering with us on that. We were able to see training of environmental stewards. We were able to see partnerships with the academia. Actually, the organization, as an organization, we had established partnership with Tharaka University. We had an MOU, and we were also working on an MOU with KEWI, Kenya Water Institute, which is in Takchagariga. And at the same time, we were working on an MOU with the TVET here in Marimanti. We also saw the improvement of goat breeds. I can see Mr. Kurea left, but through the livestock department, we also were able to see the improvement of goat breeds. And then there was an advocacy strategy that was established through a concerted effort where the CSOs like RIDEP were part of it, and other CSOs within Tharaka South and Tharaka North to be able to develop a draft advocacy strategy that was supposed to be used to help these CSOs work with advocacy here in Tharaka Nithi. Of course, these interventions also capitalized a lot on the recommendations from the NDMA. You've had the reports from NDMA. NDMA are the ones who are in charge of drought management within this area. And of course, the government providing security and of course oversight. This was very key for the project to be able to succeed. Now this project was to move towards a third phase so that we can see now building on the gains from phase 1 and phase 2 and also capitalizing on the lessons learned. We were in the process of now preparing a third phase for the CKU project to be able to see that we achieve what we wanted to achieve, building resilience in Tharaka Nithi County. So as an organization, IAS Kenya faced a major financial setback in 2024. So this major financial setback made us unable to continue implementation of these initiatives, these projects that we were doing as an organization, not only here in Tharaka Nithi, but all over the country, because IAS Kenya has projects in other parts of Kenya as well. So because we were unable to continue with this project, of course, it was a very serious issue, a financial setback, and currently, as I speak, there is a case in court that is going on. So because IAS was unable to continue with this process of implementation, in discussions with IAS Denmark, IAS Denmark had other partners within Kenya that they were already working with, such as FPFK. So of course, IAS Denmark was able to establish through discussions with FPFK that actually FPFK were fit to be the ones to continue with this project, Resilience Building Phase 3 in Tharaka Nithi. Situwapigie makofi. Tuliambiwa makofi ni moja. So we are really grateful. So this day actually serves not only as an explanation for what really happened to IAS, but also as an introduction of FPFK as the new partner who will now carry on this project, the phase 3 of this project, moving forward from now. So this is the reason why I'm here today. So I really did not want to talk about so much, but if you have any question, I believe that we have a time for Q&A. I can see it in the program, so that in case you have any question, of course, we can be able to respond. But the most important thing that I want to lay to you today is that I'm very grateful for the support that each and every player contributed to in this implementation of this project. And I can only request that you give the same kind of support to FPFK, because they are able to do it. They are not new in programs and projects. Actually, just to mention here is that FPFK have also taken up the project that we were implementing in Tana River. This was we were implementing inclusive education, and we had the same forum to be able to hand over the project to them. So they are the ones that are also implementing the project we were doing in Tana River. So they are able to continue with this project. So we just request once again that you will give them that support that is needed so that we can see a success. Because at the same time, we are serving the same people. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the people that we are serving. So if you put the people forward, it means that we are successful. Sindio? And each person that stood here today, they spoke very comfortably about who we are and what we do. Sindio? Because everybody is proud about themselves and what they do. But do you know why God gave you that responsibility? It's because you are supposed to contribute to something bigger than you. So that is why we must come together. We must hold hands. I usually say that the answers that we need are amongst ourselves. But what we need is to stand together. Unity is very important. If we stick together, we contribute what we have, each person plays their role, then we are honest and open. We will be able to achieve what we want to achieve. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. So with those few remarks, I want to end there, and I will also be available for any questions in case you need any response. Both myself and my colleague, Absalom, we are available here. But we are also available to help FPFK in this transition. So we are not just after this meeting running away, but we will still help them to work with them to ensure that they actually achieve what they intend to achieve and what the project intended to achieve. But the best thing that also happened is that FPFK decided to recruit one of the former IAS Kenya staff. How did Evans introduce himself? He introduced himself as FPFK, but you're wondering, Evans was IAS Kenya, but he just introduced himself as FPFK. So Evans is now working with FPFK. So with those few remarks, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I can see you're preparing to clap for him. Very much. 1, 2, go. Thank you. Asante sana. So I don't know why you have went back, Bernard, because I wanted you to invite FPFK as their hosts. Now you can welcome them so that they can introduce themselves.
I think welcoming them will be an enormous task because now this is now the main thing that is coming. So we want to let's just stand up. You know FPFK are also visitors. And in the African tradition, we believe that visitors are very important, si ndio? Mgeni akikuja kwako na hajawahi kuja kwako, vile unamkaribisha sio vile unakaribishanga wageni wengine, si ndio? So tuwapatie 1, 2, 3.
Kama tuwapatie ya kanu, wacha nione kama ni wazee. Kama wazee tunaweza wapea ile ya kanu. Fire. Nifunga ama nifungua?
So you will lead us to clap, and then I will welcome Mr. Joshua to come.
Thank you. Let's prepare ourselves. Tunaenda ile Mr. Novia. Naona kama wewe ndiye mzee zaidi hapa. Hebu tupeleke na ile ya kanu nilikuwa nasema nini? Ulisahau. Mzee inakuja na kusahau. Haya. Tunaenda tunafungua 1 na ya pili. Haya 1 2 3. Kanu. 1. Funga. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Karibu sana Bwana Joshua.
Acha nimweke hiki dunde hapa. Ndio sasa mimi nishakuwa expert.
Habari ya mchana. Muko salama? Very good. Asante. I'm so happy that that now we have this opportunity to introduce ourselves as FPFK. And my brother Bernard has just explained very well, you know, this process. And we are grateful to God for giving us this opportunity to be able also to partner and serve the people of the Tharaka-Nithi. We are so grateful to God, and I really believe we are starting a journey together. In terms of projects, we've never been here before, but I really believe that this relationship is starting today and is going to bear much fruits. But then before I just make a presentation about who FPFK is and what they do, I want to request to invite our sister from Denmark, Ronia. Maybe if you have something to add on this transition, then before now I come in to introduce FPFK. Please welcome. Asante.
Asante, Ethiopia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I said when I introduced myself this morning, I mentioned that I was very glad to be here. And of course, it's because I'm very happy to be back in this beautiful county, first of all, but also because this is the result of a few years of work now at this point to get here today and to stand together with you to continue our efforts for this community. I was with the team as phase 2 ended, and I was with them when we were preparing to approach our donor CKU for the third phase, for phase 3. And we had anticipated to be able to start maybe a year ago, but because of the circumstances as they are, things were a little more complicated. So we had to find a solution for what we could do and how we could continue our work. So I am very, very grateful both to IAS Kenya and to FPFK for all the support, for the transparency, and for the conversations that have been ongoing, and for us to finally be able to be here today to work for these next 2 years together with you. And I also want to express my gratitude that after all this time, you are still here today, and we are still continue to work together towards resilience for these communities. So I just want to really extend my thanks to everyone on the team for their efforts to be able to continue to do this work. And I want to the reason I am standing here today is because I want to celebrate with the team that we got here, and for us to show my support that we go forward together, and to let you know that we have been trying behind the scenes to make things work. So I am very, very happy to share this day with you. I believe it will not be my last time, so I also look forward to seeing you again as the intervention progresses, to continue to offer my support to the team. So you maybe understand what I do in my day-to-day. My role is as project advisor for IAS Denmark. So I am part of the team in Denmark that advises all our partners in different parts of the world. I myself have advice on programs here in Kenya and in the Ukraine. So I have many colleagues that I'm trying to do my best for, but I have a particular heart for this place, because I don't know if some of you recall, I was here a few years ago during my, when I was in university to do research. And that is actually why I am still allowed, that's what allowed me to do this job today. So I'm also personally involved in the success of all this. So I am very grateful again to our governmental partners and all the institutions who are here today, because I think as this entire journey has shown, the partnerships are the core of the work that we do. And I think that's all I need to say. Right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Nilikuwa nangojea hiyo. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ronia. We are really grateful that we have you here today as we take over this program. And thank you very much even for supporting us in terms of guiding us, you know, and advising us on what to do, especially for us who are a bit new in terms of projects in this particular region. We have projects all over the country, but we didn't have a project here. So thank you very much for your guidance and for your for the great support that you've given us. I also want to thank IAS Kenya for Bernard. You've been together with us when we took over inclusive education in Tana River. You really supported us, and today the project is doing very well because of the smooth transition. Thank you very much, my brother. We are grateful that you have been a good brother, and the other team. Thank you very much, and the Lord will bless all of you. Now, quickly, I know we have FPFK pastors. Please stand up. They represent the region council of Meru. Meru Isiolo region. Yes, thank you very much. We'll walk together the journey. God bless you. Now, FPFK. I know it will be a bit difficult for you to adapt the name. Even when we started projects in different areas where the churches of FPFK are not there, they used to say, hey, this company called PK, it looks like a political party. FPFK, but it is FPFK. It means Free Pentecostal Fellowship in Kenya. Yes, and this program, this is a church organization. This is a church. This is a church, just like KAG, PAG. I don't know the churches that are in Tharaka Nithi, you know, Deliverance. This is a Free Pentecostal Fellowship in Kenya. And I just want to, you may not be able to see, but maybe you can help me expand so that maybe people who are able to see, they will be able to see. But generally, as he does that, I just want to give a background of FPFK. And so FPFK is Free Pentecostal Fellowship in Kenya. It is an evangelical church registered in Kenya under certificate number 4110. It is important to note that we are a legal organization in the country. It operates in 36 regions. Miriam just said that we have at the entire level in FPFK. We have the national level, we have the regional level, and then we have the local church level. Yeah, so it operates in 36 regions. So now currently we have that. Actually, they have increased, but we have approximately 36 regions all over the country, and all over the country in Kenya, and as like 418 local churches. Local churches mean, these are not branch churches, these are local churches. There are a number of branch churches under the local church. That is an administrative term for the organization local church, which has got a number of other branch churches across the country. Jamaa ameshindwa, ameenda sasa. Yes, and you'll have this, yeah, somebody else is coming. Wonderful. Hey, watu wa IT, ndio hawa sasa nyinyi. And we have over 1,500 branches all over the country, 1,500 branches all over the country with a combined membership of over 1.5 million members across the country. And therefore, wonderful. Therefore, FPFK was established independently by the Norwegian and Swedish missionaries, the Norwegian and Swedish missionaries in the 1950s and 1960s. But then what happened is that the missionaries from the two Scandinavian countries operated independently of each other until 1977. That's when their operations were merged into FPFK. FPFK as a church. So it was merged that way. Thank you very much. Makofi. And then into one church or one being. Nationally, FPFK is headed by the national board, because we said there are 3 levels, the national and the regional and the local church. As, the national board is headed by the national board, which is the principal policy making body. A national secretariat headed by the general secretary in the country, and then is a secretary to the national board, who is responsible to the day-to-day operations of the church at the national level. The management and structure of FPFK governance, the FPFK has different levels of governance, namely the annual general meeting. We normally have the annual general meeting in April on annual basis, where all these branch churches, and I mean representatives, we call them delegates, from branch churches, local churches, and national level, they all come together to converge on annual basis to do a general assembly or annual general meeting. And that is a very strong body in the structure of FPFK. They give, the direction of the entire organization in the country. So they are mandated to make the final decisions. It involves all the delegates across the country. Then we have the national, we also have the regional board and local church board. That means in the national level, we have 10 national board members who represent all the churches in the country. And then in the local region, we will also have, in every region, we have 10-member council that also represent churches from the branch, as well as in the local church. The national board and board of trustees also operates through the head office. We also have the board of trustees. Board of trustees is a body in FPFK that takes care of all the, the assets of the organization in the whole country. If you can see the vehicles we have, the lands, all those things, they belong to FPFK trustees. And therefore is a constituted body that is mandated to take care of all, the assets of the country through the head office. The head office is managed by the general secretary, who reports to the national board and the annual general meeting. The project committees, enterprises, board ministry committees, and the various institutional committees at the national level, regional and local levels reports to the general secretary through the head office. In other words, FPFK has got a number of departments. We have enterprises. If you have gone to Nairobi, or you may have had what we call Keswick. Keswick Bookshop is an enterprise of FPFK. So we have the guest house also in FPFK. We are located in Kindaruma Road in Kilimani. That's where the head office is. And then we also have a college in Karen. We call it FPFK Karen Christian College in Karen. And therefore, other than having those departments, we also have the department of the social ministry, that is which I'm going. I'll be sharing with you its mission shortly. But FPFK vision and mission. The vision of FPFK is that FPFK desires to be a strong Pentecostal church that meets the needs of the society holistically. Holistically means in all other dimensions. That is the reason why we have projects. Preach the gospel for spiritual nourishment, for people to go to heaven. Before you go to heaven, there needs to be comfortable here so that you can even listen to that gospel. Without that, you know, it is impossible to convert people even to spiritual issues. The primary mandate of FPFK is which meets the spiritual, economic, and social needs of the people through evangelism, education, training, and socio-economic activities based on Christian values. Why Christian values? Because we are a church. Now, in the introduction of the social ministry, you've seen now that FPFK's responsibilities to address spiritual, social, economic, and humanitarian needs of the society. We are located at FPFK head office in Kilimani, Nairobi, along Kindaruma Road. In addition, each project also has offices in the operation area. And in terms of projects, because I've already indicated that we have several departments under FPFK, but now I'm narrowing it into what has brought us here. We are now under what is called the social ministry. FPFK has got a social ministry. It has enterprises, it has guest houses, it has training colleges, etc., etc. And then now it has a social ministry department. And that social ministry department is the reason why we are here. It is where all the projects in the country are managed. So what we are saying is our headquarters is even under a social ministry. We have an office there in the headquarters, but wherever we have projects across the country, I'm going to summarize a number of projects we have across the country. In those places, we also have project offices. And then we already have a staff establishment of 42 staff already under the social ministry. And we have volunteers engagement of 60, a number of volunteers that works together with us. Project status. Now, just in a summary, just to understand an overview of what the social ministry now does. Now, we have a number of projects and different partners that support us in this social ministry. We have women inclusion in leadership. We've just ending. We are supported by LM International, and the target area is the entire country, Kenya, stroke FPFK regions, across the whole country. And then that is the annual budget, 2.2 million. We also have FPFK Resilience Program. We are supported by PMU. That's Sweden. And what happens is we are in that program, FPFK Resilience Program, is in Turkana, West Pokot, because of the conflict that is there between the Turkana and the Pokots. The conflict that is there, we are addressing through the support from PMU. And then we also have Kisumu, Kericho, because of the climate change resilience program in that particular place because of the issues of climate. Then we have in Kajiado, we have anti-FGM project. I know anti-FGM is not mentioned in Tharaka. It is not there, isn't it? It is not there. Si ni kweli? Si mjui hata hiyo kitu ni nini? Hata hiyo mnyama mjui ni nini hiyo inaitwa FGM. Si ni kweli? Si muongee, iko ama hakuna? Are you sure? Hiyo hakuna. Ukiona sauti kiko kidogo, so hiyo project hatuhitaji hapa. Tunaweza peleka Kajiado, tupeleke inaitwa nini? Kuria and other places. But then, so we are supporting that program in Kajiado, which has now gone to the border of Tanzania. Then we have what we call Ubunifu. Ubunifu is a project for the youth in Turkana County. We are supporting, especially those who have dropped from school. and are unable to support themselves, and we are supporting them. And the partner is NPM, Norwegian Pentecostal Mission. And so we are supported by that organization, that partner, and it's going to end in 2030. And you can see resilient programs. We have 30 million for that, and then 12 million, 0.7 for NPM Turkana. And then we have Peace Resilient Project, again by NPM, which is working in Muhoroni and Kilgoris. You might have seen, so for many times through the social media, conflict that has been going on in Kilgoris, that is Kajiado, Narok County, and also in Kisumu, a place called Sondu, between the Luos and the Kipsigis between Kericho and Kisumu. So we are trying to manage those conflicts there through support from NPM at that budget. It is going to end next year, 2027, with a budget of 18 million. Then we have Inuka Dada. This project just ended this December. We had 10 million for that. And Inuka Dada is where we were supporting ladies or women, you know, in terms of empowering them for decision making and leadership. And the program was across the entire country. Then we have Widows Project. Widows Project is supported by NPM also in a place called Siaya County. Siaya County, this is going up to 2027 and at a budget of 19 million. And we are supporting like 900 widows in Siaya. You know, these challenges of widows is everywhere. But it looks like it was rampant in Siaya County among our brothers, the Luos, because of wife inheritance, Nini, all those things, you know. And therefore, we are supporting those widows in that particular place. Then we have Kajiado Climate Change Resilient Project. Because, you know, when I came here, particularly I come from Kajiado, and when I came here, I saw another Kajiado here. Just another Kajiado here. So I think we are going to relate very well, because ile drought iko Kajiado, wacha tu. Inafanana. Paka nimeona mbuzi, nilipoona mbuzi namwambia, karibu nimwambie jamaa alikuwa anatubeba. Mbuzi mama niulize bei ya hii mbuzi. Najua Masai akiona mbuzi na ng'ombe, anataka kupeleka kwao, maana si mbuzi inakuanga ya wa Masai. Mnafanyia nini ng'ombe na mbuzi pande hii? Anyway, so when somebody was talking about the drought and whatever, I really understand the concept, because that is exactly the challenge we are going through in those areas. Then we have, so we are supporting climate change in Kajiado County, 18 million, and the project is going to end in 2028. Then we have Linda Mtoto, child protection. It's a child protection program. That's where our brother Victor, you've seen him, in the one in blue, is working there. We have extended that into Uganda. We are in Busia County. We are supporting children there because of neglect, you know, child labor, so many things that happen to the children, especially because of the border issues there. You go there, you'll be surprised. You know, you'll be surprised about what the children are going through in that particular area. So we are supporting that program, and we are supported by NPM in Busia County at 20 million a year. Then we have Turkana Climate Change Resilient Project. This is supported by IAS Denmark. These are the people, a very, very, very strong partner. And you know, Turkana County, if you've gone to Turkana County, you can also relate with the, you know, with the challenge that is also here. You know, I don't know which one is worse than which one, but that place is actually, really actually need this kind of program. So we are supported by IAS Denmark, and it's going to, that particular project is ending 2026. December, and at a budget of 24 million. Then we have FOB. FOB is freedom of religion and belief. The coastline region from Isiolo, where they come from, Isiolo to Kwale, up to a place called Tunduru in Uganda, in Tanzania. You know, in fact, the reason why the bishop is not here, the regional bishop, is because he's one of the project leaders in FOB, and they had an activity in Tunduru in Tanzania, because it cut across the coastline. So we are supported by IAS Denmark, a wonderful partner. We are so proud. And that is the reason why we are supporting. You know, there's a conflict between the Christians and the Muslims in the coastlines. And the impact that this project is making, you know, is so huge, so big, and we are grateful. Actually, the reason why they have gone from Kenya to Tanzania is because now they have become experts, you know, in the conflict between the Muslims and the Christians. And now they are escalating that expertise to our brothers in Tanzania. So IAS Denmark has made us proud, and this country proud, for supporting this kind of initiative that has brought a very big impact, you know, especially right now that we are going towards the election year next year. You know, there are so many conflicts that are experienced all over, and that is the reason why these projects are very important. That is FOB. Then we have Malaba Gender, again supported by IAS Denmark. Malaba Gender and Advocacy is a program that is supporting gender and advocacy issues in Malaba. Also, there are a lot of challenges there, and that is the reason why we are in that particular place. They are supporting us with a budget of 20 million. Then we have again now inclusive education. Inclusive education is again supported by IAS Denmark. That's what Bernard just said, that he really supported us during the taking over of that project also, supporting us to support those children who are very vulnerable in that particular community in Tana River. And we are forever grateful for IAS Denmark. And then now we have now Tharaka Nithi. Hapo ndio sasa tunakuja Tharaka Nithi again IAS Denmark. And so we will be working now together here. Those are some of the projects that we have in FPFK, so that you can have an overview of what happens. We have also have new projects that we are looking forward to have. Project Church for Transformation by PMU, and the application is already ongoing. Then we also have a project for Mpeketoni Peace, because of the conflict also that is there, and we are sending it to IAS Denmark again. And then we have anticipatory project in Nyando by IAS Denmark again. We have already done a lot of humanitarian projects in the same place in Nyando. And then we also have joint learning initiative by NPM, and then inclusive education. Inclusive education again by IAS Denmark, because we want now to cross over Kenya-Uganda border area to support them in terms of inclusive education. So that is what FPFK is doing in a nutshell in terms of project. And we are all over. You can see now the counties in which we are operating. We are operating across the whole country, both in the coast, up there, everywhere. So basically, you can see the budget. Bro, umefanya aje hii? Nataka kuona hiyo total budget. You escape? You escape from where? You escape, sasa. Hey, yes, thank you. Hey, look at what one. Escape. 224 million, 114,000. Ile pesa ya kununua zile vitu ilikuwa pesa ngapi? Sijui nani make that presentation. Ile ya feeds. Oh, million. 500. Oh, sasa mtafute hiyo pale pengine because ile si tuko nayo ni kidogo, si ndio? All right, very good. So those are our project participants in a nutshell. Like FPFK Resilient Program, we have advocates, advisory committee members, because that is our design in FPFK. Wherever we have projects, we also have the project advisors. And it is constituted between the FPFK church, a representative, and other experts. For example, now when we have climate, the issue of Tharaka Nithi, we will look at those experts, and I thank God that you are here. So it will be very, very important to constitute that particular advisory group, you know, within the members who are here, because they will be able to advise. They will be able to advise on the areas of concerns. So normally we ensure that the experts in that thematic area, you know, are included in the advisory committee because of their expertise, their professions, so that they can support that project, you know, to be on track, and also to ensure that the right priorities and the right thing, according to the design of that particular project, you know, is done. So you can see in every project we have a number of advisory committee members. FPFK Resilient Program 15, Peace Resilience 9, Linda Mtoto 5, etc., etc. Then we have volunteers. We have volunteers who support, you know, those programs, and also do follow-up within the communities. And those volunteers are not brought from the blues. They must come from that particular community, because in that community they are there always, and they know what happens, and they'll be able to mobilize for either participants, the farmers, you know, CSOs, and etc., etc. And therefore, we also have a number of CSOs, you know. Thank God that you are all here. I'm very, very happy when I was listening to the introduction of the constitution of this meeting. Very powerful, very good. The right people are here. I'm so happy. And I really believe that this project is going to be very successful. Wakumba mjaokoka mungesema amen. Mnaendaga church? Brother, siwe umetuombea powerful mpaka nasikia Roho Mtakatifu ameshuka. Ungekuwa unanisaidia na amen hapa bwana. Then number of staff per project depend on the project itself. You know, in FPFK Resilient Program 6, Peace Resilience 5, etc., etc. And therefore, we also have the management. These are the people who are in the head office to support accountants, the head of programs, monitoring officer, you know, the accountants and the assistants. The HR is also there. The communication department is also there. And therefore, all those staff are about 42 of them. Right. Then some of the key achievements that we've been able to attain during the time of implementation of this program is organization levels, partnership with government institutions. I'm happy Tharaka Nithi, inaitwa Tharaka Nithi University? Ama inaitwa aje? Tharaka University. Ai, tofauti ya Tharaka Nithi na Tharaka ni nini sasa? So, Tharaka Nithi ni county? Oh, Tharaka is a tribe. Nithi ni nini? Ni county. Hiyo tutajua baadaye. So we are partnered with government institutions. And that's why we are so happy to have government officers here from various departments. We are partners, we are stakeholders. And we believe that is what has made FPFK to succeed. Because of bringing all the stakeholders, the relevant stakeholders together, walking that journey together, supporting one another. So when we have government institutions, you know, we work with DCCs, ACCs, you know, national and the local government institutions, all of them. And that is why we are succeeding. And that's why I really believe today this program, this project here, no doubt, is going to succeed. 100%. So I'm kuokoka sasa. Very good. We have developing child protection manual. That's where Victor is coming from. We've been able to develop manuals for sustainability. You know, manuals that are going to be used for various, you know, thematic areas. Reform perpetrators of violence. Before Victor went to child protection, he was in charge of peace program, where these reform perpetrators of violence have been, you know, we have been able to change areas where conflict is. Yes, and it was not an easy thing, but we've been able because of the support from the government institutions and other actors. The gender policy and the influence of gender inclusion in the church. We will also have institutionalizing peace building and conflict sensitivity in the church. Contributions to the strategic plan 2023-2027. Capacity building of the project participants. Because that is very important, to build capacity of the people so that they are able now to carry on the activities and implement activities as designed. We also have widows empowerment, use of media to leverage FPFK projects, knowledge management approach, FPFK build resilience amidst the challenges, apprenticeship intervention. We have been able, and this is skills. And I see this program, this project here, building skills of the people. Because once you give people skills and knowledge, they will be able and tap on the knowledge that is, you know, that exists. Indigenous knowledge. Sijui kama mliona juzi tulitabiri, Wamasai walitabiri mvua. Walitabiri kwa kuchinja mbuzi. Mliona? Mliona kwa TV? Tunaweza tabiri na mtu masikio iko hapa hajaenda shule ya mtu. Tukachinja mbuzi juzi tu last week. A place called Isinya. Wakachinja mbuzi, wakatoa mara, alafu mara zinaonyesha tu streams of water. Hii ni river, inakaa namna hii. Hii ni sijui nini, so mvua itakuja. Na mvua ikaanza kukuja tu. You know, indigenous knowledge. You know, we want to tap on that. We cannot ignore, isn't it? Ama ni aje? Ilikuja vizuri sana. Ilikuja kidogo tu lakini by the way, hata wao walisema mvua iko lakini ni kidogo. Na ikakuwa hivyo tu. Mvua iko lakini ni kidogo. Na wameangalia mara ya mbuzi. Watu hawajaenda shule. You know, that kind of indigenous knowledge. Sijui sasa hapa ni Wamiru ama ni wa nani? Yaani kuna tofauti ya Wamiru na Watharaka.
Southern community.
Oh, very good. Ninaanza kuelewa sasa. So, kuna wale watu tu wazee ambayo wanaweza sema kitu ifanyike na inafanyika. Ama ni aje? Kuna tu wale watu wako na ile knowledge ya sio ya vitabu, ile knowledge ya sijui wapi, ya kuzaliwa tu, natural, isn't it? Yes. So we don't ignore anybody. We don't ignore any kind of knowledge. We bring all together and see how we can tap. Ama ni aje? Hata hii mambo ya kiroho. Tulienda pahali na mchawi akasema hapa amwezi kanyanga hapa. Pahali inaitwa Narok. Ukienda Narok kuna pahali ya Libons. Ya Libons ukielekea Tanzania. Yes. So my bishop was the one going there for a mission. Jamaa anakaa kwa kiti yake huko, pali inaitwa Loiter. You know, na akafunga tu nyasi kidogo. Kuna nyasi alichukua akafunga namna hii. Akasema kuna mtu anavuka hapo. Na hakuna? So, kuna maneno ama ni aje? Now, church level result ndio hizo. And has unity of churches, capacity building churches, leaders in community work, boost church income through renting offices, all those things. And then we have community level results, strengthen civil space in communities. 241 civil society groups working towards justice, creation, care, and peace in their respective communities. More than 6,734 families in various projects areas are benefiting from livelihood interventions because of sustainability. Hata wale watu ambao wanafanya mambo ya conflict huko, perpetrators of conflict, for example, you know, perpetrators and also the victims of violence. You know, we've been able to pick them and give them an alternative livelihood so that they'll be able to waachane na hii story waende kwa story nyingine. Unajua tukiwapatia hizo stories za conflict nyinyi mtastuka saa hizi kwa hii room. Ile story tumepatana nayo. One day tulienda na yule kijana and kwenda kuwatolea wajamaa na tukakutana na perpetrators. Pali walitupeleka wale wenyewe wenye kuiba, you know, and then tukamwambia sasa ndani ya bush sasa muanze kuongea. Mnafanyanga aje? Mmoja akasema sasa mimi jana niliua mama ambaye saa 12 aliamuka kukamua ng'ombe kumkamulia watoto wake waende shule. Nikapata akikamua, nikamuua, akakufa, nikatoa hiyo kamba, nikapeleka ng'ombe. Na umepata pesa ngapi? 300 shillings. Because kuna wale wenyewe sasa. Wale wanapelekewa. So you kill somebody because of, ni kama ile that silver ya Judas. Isn't it? Na mtu anakuambia hivyo tu, nilifanya hivyo jana. Jana. Na huyu jamaa amekupeleka kwa bush. Wako kadhaa, wako 20 na. Tunataka kuonana na wao kwa in one of the school. Akasema hapana, hata hatutaonana huko. Because they fear for their lives. So wakatupeleka na tukaenda na gari. He knows that. And then wakatuambia na wanatuma mtu ambaye anatuongoza. Na tuambia haya wajeni gari hapo sasa. Tembea kwa miguu sasa. Tukatembea vichochoro ndani ya bush, hatuoni wapi ni giza. Paka tukaenda tukakuta juu ya mlima wakikaa. Sasa hapo hata ukimess na watu utarudi kwa hiyo gari yako. So ni kusikiliza tu. But by the way, at the end of the day, tuliwaombea wakaokoka. So there are so many things that happens. Unajua nyinyi ni drought tu ndio mko na shida yake. Kuna watu wako na shida nyingi kuliko nyinyi. And therefore, influence policy, peace social contract, peace clubs, widows social protection policy, and the FGM Act enforcement advocacy. Last year tulienda Siaya na tukaenda kwa bunge la county. Na FPFK was able to influence hiyo leadership ya county kwa mambo ya policy for the widows protection. You know, na ikapitishwa. tulikuwa pale. And we are very, very happy. So, mambo ya advocacy, we can now come together and identify issues that needs to be, taken through those processes and support each other mpaka ifanyike. More than 11,551 households with humanitarian assistance, capacity building, innovative early warning and early response system. Hiyo tutaongea siku ingine. I don't know whether it works here. The early tuko na very wonderful system ambayo ni FPFK tu ndio uko nayo. Hii ni noma. Baada mjajua FPFK ni nini, lakini mtajua tu baadaye. System ambayo sisi wenyewe tunafundisha government. Sisi tumeenda kufundisha NCIC. Mambo ya early warning. It's a system ambayo is owned by FPFK. Ya early warning, early response. Na tumetumia kwa areas ya conflicts, hiyo mambo ya child protection, nini, hizo vitu zote. Kwa sababu, na saa hii FPFK inafundisha, other countries like Togo, kufundisha kwa sababu wamepewa funding ya kufanya mambo ya early warning. Na wakaambiwa na partners, there is an organization in Kenya inaitwa FPFK, ambayo wamesucceed kudevelop the early warning system. So they came last year? They came last year, December, from Togo to learn from FPFK about the early warning system. And therefore, we also went to, I told you we trained NCIC on the same early warning system. Najua wao wanaangalia mambo ya incitement na nini, but we've been able to take them through this system. Another organization in Finland, all those things. So, this is an organization ambayo unaweza angalia useme hii ni noma. Ni noma si noma. Ni fire si fire. Reason to strengthen partnership, those are the reason, and we have future focus, sustaining and escalating. We can give you this if you require. Sustaining and escalating the work our partners have invested over the years, leveraging on knowledge management, assets mapping, and use your talent approaches with FPFK and in the communities, use of diaconia approaches, capacity building, staff, etc., networking and partnership with county and national government, etc. Those are our partners. And then we also work with, we have partnered with institutions. When I hear the university, Tharaka University, we are working with, we have an MOU with University of Nairobi, an MOU with USIU, those big institutions, we have an MOU with them because we are working towards supporting children, in the Linda Mtoto project and other joint learning programs that we are establishing. So we are very happy that we can all partner together, bring our synergies together and ensure that we succeed together. And therefore, those are the... Now, I want to show you this, but I don't know whether you are able to see. That is the structure of FPFK from the national board. We have the national board on top, and then we have the general secretary. The general secretary is the one, he reports to the national board. And then this is under the social ministry. And then we have the head of programs, Apo Chini. And then all this you see, we have all this you see, we now have all the projects that you can see here. All these are projects under FPFK. So, okay. Hiyo ni video ingine ambayo mtaona when kama muna njaa, zile mtakuwa na njaa. But in a nutshell, that is FPFK. And that's what we do across the country. We are happy that we have finally found our way here in Tharaka. And this is not, what you are doing, the program here, is not new to us. We're already doing in other areas. Actually, some of the learnings we picked in Kajiado climate change, Turkana climate change. We've been able to take some of the people in Kajiado to a place called Eswatini, that is Swaziland, to go and learn in terms of smart agriculture, the solar, use of solar, and we are developing a very important institution, TVET in Kajiado, where people could come and learn, you know, on all those things that can support the farmers. We're already doing that in Kajiado. We have that institution that we are just developing. And we've been given land by the county government of Kajiado, like 10 acres of land to establish that institution. That will also be open for you to come, for people from this particular place, just to come and benchmark and see what other people are doing there. Using solar energy, using, getting ideas on smart agriculture, and et cetera, et cetera. So partnering and working together with all the other projects that we have within FPFK is going to help this project go to another level. Sharing that knowledge is very, very important. Sharing that knowledge and having these wonderful brains from different institutions is very key for this particular program to succeed. And we are very happy for that. So in a nutshell, that's who we are. And we thank God that we have got this opportunity to be here and work together. And we believe today we are kicking off this particular project in terms of implementation of activities. But the most important thing is now we are here. All of us are here. You've introduced yourself and areas in which you are working. They say in English, knowledge is not a monopoly of individuals. Knowledge is not a monopoly of individuals. It means that there's nobody who has knowledge on this particular area or in all areas alone. You need one another. We need each other. You know, you come with your professionalism, I come with your expertise, and the other one, and now develop a roadmap in which we can work together. At the end of the day, when we succeed together. It is not about the success of FPFK, not IAS Kenya, not any other person, but all of us as stakeholders together. And I want to ask all of us today that we have come together. We can now move together to work towards the objective of this particular program. And one thing that you have to know, that today, and I'm very sure majority of us know that now, that today, funding from donors all over the world is shrinking. And therefore, we need a roadmap in terms of sustainability of these kinds of programs. Onyeshwa tu kitu kidogo, work with that. Don't just have, ile kitu inaitwa dependency syndrome. Nipatie, nifanyie, niinue. I want to give you an analogy of a very interesting analogy from the Maasai community. In our particular community, because nimesema it resembles this place. Kabisa, no difference at all where I come from. Even this morning nampigia mchungaji wangu wa ng'ombe na mbuzi. Nini inaendelea? Drought. Hata jana mbuzi yangu moja imekufa jana. Na mbona mniambii pole? Yaani mnanichekelea. Nyinyi seriously. Yaani nasema kitu, unajua mkienda church kuna pahali ya kusema sorry na kuna pahali kusema amen. Na mtu mmoja nimeona karibu aseme amen. Na unajua amen inamaanisha iwe hivyo. Na iendelee ingine kama hiyo. But what I'm trying to say is that place I come from resembles this place. And the analogy I want to give you ni hii. In our place, Maana sisi ni wafugaji tu wa ng'ombe. You know, what happens is when a drought like this comes, alafu ng'ombe wameanza sasa kudhoofika. It reaches a point where watu wanaanza sasa kuinua ng'ombe. To lift up those hata huku. And what happens, there are two types of cows ambayo wanainuliwangwa. Mmoja anaweza inuliwa namna hii na wanainuliwa ndio wasimame kidogo apate nguvu na endelee, isn't it? No, mwingine anaweza inuliwa namna hii, wengine wanashika mkia, wazee wengine wanashika kichwa, wengine wanashika hapa ndio ainuke. Na kuna two types of cows that one, kuna ng'ombe ambaye ukishika tu namna hii mkia, anataka tu msaada kidogo tu. Ukiinua tu namna hii anakusaidia kuinuka. Na huyo anaweza saidika na anaenda mpaka pale anapata maji kidogo, anapata nyasi kidogo, anapata kila kitu na atapata nguvu na anaendelea. Hata akienda mbele anguke tena, mnakimbia tena, mnafanya nini? Because hata yeye inakusaidia kuinuka, anataka kuishi, isn't it? Na huyo within a short time akisaidiwa namna hii kidogo kidogo ataamuka na anaenda. Na mvua itakuta na atakuwa strong. Kuna aina ingine ya ng'ombe moja, funny. Na huyo sasa yeye anaweza inuliwa namna hii. Na kisidhani mgonge akatai kuinuka. Anaweza inuliwa namna hii na anaanguka tena. In fact, it can be raised mpaka miguu yote inainuka hivi kwa juu na anashikiliwa asimame. Anasema anaanguka tena. Hataki. Do you know what normally we do? Mzee anasema lete kisu. Unaona hapa katikati? Hapa anadungwa kisu hivi. Nga! Anakufa. Because unachokesha watu bure. Unamaliza watu nguvu bure. Mpaka wale watu wafadhili wanataka kukusaidia hawana nguvu anymore because they see you are not helping yourself to stand. Are you getting? You are not helping yourself to stand. So the best thing, wewe kufa, tuende kwa mwingine ambaye anataka kuamuka. And I want to tell you this group today. Wewe tusiitishe vitu nyingi, wakati unapewa kidogo ni mkia ndio imeshikwa leo. Hii project inaitwa nini? Hii nataka nini? Scaling up partnership, isn't it? So, and advocacy. Si tumekuja, yani IAS Denmark, wamekuja tu ameshika mkia, FPFK wanashika kichwa hapa. IAS walikuwa wanashika mguu hapa kuinuka. Hii team ya ya serikali wanakushikilia pande hii. Cooperative ndio ile. Ngao. Sijui university ngao. Alafu msipoinuka. Ni nini? Ni nini? So mimi nikimaliza nataka niambie hii group. Leo tumekutana tujaonana tunajuana leo. What do you want? What do you want now that you've gathered together? What do you want? Because a small help for a person who wants to wake up and stand and move just need a small support. Just a small support. Not 100% support. Wewe ukishikwa hata mkia tu amuka, jaribu kusonga. Because today there is a dependency syndrome that has been instilled in us everywhere. I traverse the whole country as the head of program together with her just to go to visit all these projects. And you can talk to the community. And the community wanasema, we don't have this. We also don't have this. There's another pastor from our place. Alikutana na jamaa, hakuwa na nguo. And the pastor gave him nguo. Akampatia shati na akampatia koti. Akampatia trouser. Jamaa hajasema asante. Akienda pale asema, mzee, hata sina viatu. Pastor karibu anyang'anya hizo vitu zingine zote. Yani you don't even appreciate what you've been given. Unaanza kuongeza ingine. Hata imagine hata sina viatu. Wakipewa viatu, imagine hata socks zimeraruka. Yani what do you want? Mtu ambaye anataka kuinuka atafanya kama moja yule ng'ombe. Yule ng'ombe ambaye akishikwa tu namna hii anainuka na anasonga mbele. Unaelewa? And that is what we need to address today, and we need to agree together as stakeholders. Hata nyinyi cooperative, amupeani pesa 100%. Hata hiyo CSR ni kitu kidogo tu kusupport your community. Waki appreciate, they can move on. Isn't it? Yes. So when we come together as stakeholders, it is for us now to make that decision. We might not get all these things every time, but a little one that we might get, if it is capacity building, you know, capacity building so that you have the knowledge and the skills in terms of supporting these particular farmers and this particular initiative, then we can leverage on that and support the system through that, you know. Ama niaje? So a little here, a little there. A little here, a little there. That's what the Bible says. Precept upon precept. Munasikia hiyo? So if we can come together, support one another, support this initiative, I'm very sure all of us are going to succeed. Lakini tukisema tu, wacha, let us wait for FPFK to come and do this. Let us also wait for IAS Denmark to come and do this. We have finished this, we want this now. You can just be given something little, and out of that, you make a difference. You make a difference. Ama niaje? Yes. So our expertise that we have from different fields can be brought together. That synergy, yeah, we can develop. Even, let me tell you, we can even develop something else that is not this. Ama niaje? Hii brain zote. We can also even come together and develop an application, a proposal, na tuandikie watu wengine na kusema we need this kind of support. Ama niaje? But the dependency syndrome that I see everywhere we go, you know, it will make us to be like that cow. Ama niaje? Watane, hujatosheka, leta kisu. Ukiona kisu leta kisu. Kuisha kasi. Sawa sawa. But I believe us as this particular group, tutakuja wote kushikana namna hii na kusema, hii ambayo tumepata, tutafanya namna gani? What area? You know, if we need this capacity building, then after this, what else? Sawa sawa. May the Lord bless you. I look forward to working with you, and our staff are here. And in case of anything, we will keep on coming here to monitor the project and also to see what we can do together as stakeholders to ensure that the success of this program and other programs here can be successful. The Lord bless you. Thank you.
That was a presentation combined with a preaching, combined with an encouragement, combined with a challenging verse. So I think he has done well. He's the head of programs FPFK. As I mentioned, it's Joshua Kelele. And now I am very aware that our time is so much gone. And I am very sure. By the way, unajua alisahau kama alikuwa na hii kitu.
Kulikuwa na kitu hapo?
Akaanza kutupia story. Sijui kama alikumbuka alikuwa na record. Sasa mimi niweke hapa ama nikulete? Niweke hapa. Acha hata mimi nikakae na hapa kidogo. Nimepea watu sana. So, good afternoon once again. Now I have noticed something. That the people wanatoka hawataki kusema masaa imeisha. Hawataki kusema masaa imeenda beyond the program. So I am just requesting through the DCC that to give me just 5 minutes. There's one aspect that has remained, which is very important because we are all key players in this project. We go just briefly through the overview of this coming phase. And just as Bernard mentioned, IAS K implemented the first and the second phase. Another phase is being implemented by FPFK. So I think it is very important if you allow me, we do a very brief, just go through what is expected and what are some of the activities that we will be doing in this phase. Am I permitted? Sasa tunaweza kaa upright kidogo?
Yes.
Tuache kulalia kiti ama mzee miaka imesonga kidogo. Good. So very briefly, and as even I move to the overview, it is important to note that all of us in this room, we were invited because in either way, we are key players in this project through our expertise, through different roles that we take in the community, and as good facilitators and drivers of progress of this project. Therefore, I might not say that we are all going to be in through, but at least we'll identify areas that each one of us can participate. Whether you are a group member, you are a group leader, you are chief, you are cooperative official, you are a government officer, head of department, finance. I'm very sure this project has been designed in a way that we approach this challenge holistically, that each person plays their role, and that we can be able to contribute to turn the project towards ending drought emergencies. So we know weather is very unpredictable, we can't control, but at least we can do something so that emergencies don't face us. So Bernard went through the achievements of the previous two phases, so I think I just skip those ones because of time, but just briefly, we have of course done 5 earth dams. We have helped to harvest about 20 million of cubic liters. We have distributed about 1,200 tree seedlings to members of the community. We have 2 new livestock farmer-based cooperative societies established and registered. Mr. Mwaneki was very instrumental in that because that is his docket, among other achievements. Phase 3, in summary, so these are the target locations. We will have, sorry, I move so much. We will have, in terms of locations, we will have Chiakariga, we will have Kamanyaki. These 2 are in Chiakariga sub-county. Tuko na chief wake hapa. Kamanyaki and Chiakariga, I'm sure they are here. Sorry. We'll have Maragua, Kalangasheni, and Kanjoro. Those are in the, yes, we have worked with them very closely in the past. Those are in Tharaka North, and then we'll have Marimant now as the headquarters of the constituency, as one of the locations that will participate in this project, which is in Tharaka South. So you can see also the sub-counties there. I know you have been added new sub-counties. You have Tharaka West and Mukodhima, which are not part of this project. But of course, as the end of programs I mentioned, we'll continue surveying and seeing which are the needs that are in some of these sub-counties. So this is the funding, this is how the project is funded. So you have CKU, which is Center for Church-Based Development. These are the financials. So hao ndio wadosi, ndio wanatoa pesa. Tuko pamoja? So tukiongea mahali popote lazima tuongee kuhusu CKU. Sababu wao ndio wanatoa pesa. So CKU, we are able to reach them through International Aid Services Denmark, who have helped us in resource mobilization, and they will also be very key in monitoring. So they will be, you see Ronia there, she's laughing, but there are days that comes and then she says, I want to see this. So she'll be in charge, she'll be helping us in monitoring and ensuring that we do the correct things as in the proposal. And then we have FPFK now as the implementing partner. So all the activities to be carried out will be done by FPFK, of course, in partnership with all of us as partners and stakeholders. So the beneficiaries are direct beneficiaries 1,600. Well, these are supposed to, are expected to also benefit other 8,000 people. This is through triple effect. So we expect mtu mmoja akifunzwa anaweza funza watu wengine watano, and which is very possible. And then of course through these stakeholder forums we are also targeting a secondary beneficiary of 1.5. The project period is for 2 years, which runs from January this year to December next year, 2027. So the overall goal of the project, ama wakati tukifanya hii project na ifike mwisho, what do we anticipate to achieve? So we anticipate to have an inclusive and collaborative community-based groups with enlightened leaderships to enhance social accountability and promote climate adaptation. So wale viongozi wa vikundi wako hapa, mjue nyinyi ndio tunaangalia sana. We want to see groups that are working. We want to see groups that are organized. And I know with the assistance of the chiefs here, because we have them, it will be very easy to organize you and ensure that you are enlightened through our trainings to ensure that you can take activities and initiatives for climate adaptation. So we have 3 expected outcomes. So we expect, number 1, to have an empowered right holders, empowered right holders. We'll be targeting advocacy groups and community members. We'll have collaborative meetings between duty bearers and CSOs. Of course, this is now, as we have mentioned, we have moved from confrontational advocacy, and we are moving towards sitting down in a table, discussing and bringing matters to the table together. Then we will have training for environmental stewards. As mentioned, through faith-based organizations, we have developed environmental stewards across the 3 sub-counties. So we'll also be working on training them. Of course, we have one of the things that has been neglected in the past is community participation. What do they call it? Public participation of community citizens in policy developing procedures. So the project will look towards facilitating a few community members to be able to participate in these forums so that they can air their views and know how the policy level, maybe at county level, are being made. We'll do some media engagement forums. Of course, these are for publicity and publicizing the strategies that we develop. And then we'll do, related to that, we also do community outreaches. This is going to the community and trying to enlighten them on various environmental and climate-related topics. Our own shows also related to the same. I think this one will also work closely with even the academic institutions, because I know they also have a lot of knowledge to disseminate to the people. So the three of them will work closely with you. Then under the second outcome, we will have community awareness meetings. These are community-based meetings that will target around 600 people. Also, we'll discuss topics on early warning, environmental and natural resource management, environmental conservation, and among other development policies. That is why we say in this project we also have a room. If there's a project that is coming on, there's a program that's coming on, during these forums, we'll have an opportunity to discuss that or to inform the community members. Stakeholders, we are HAS. We conduct a few trainings on key stakeholders of this project, also on matters resilience, and also climate justice. Then we'll support, of course, they are church-based, but we are refining that to faith-based environmental stewards to set environment apps and initiatives on also and advocacy. We'll have intergenerational share dialogues or cafes. We all know that even before we came to this earth, kuna watu waliishi hapa. Ama namna? We are not the first ones to live here. Is it true? Yes, so there are people who lived here and there is a way in which they survived. There is no way we can know that unless we meet those who have lived before us. I don't mean the ancestors. I mean those who are still living, to explain to us who are a bit younger, what are the survival mechanisms that they have used to live up to date. So that will be done through intergenerational dialogues. We will support establishment of biodiversity and recovery ecosystem initiatives. So in most places, especially for our rural brothers, you know, a lot of the ecosystem has been destructed in terms of the trees that are found there, the river flows. So a lot has been disrupted. So we'll be trying to establish some recovery systems and recovery mechanisms. In the second phase, we developed the Raqqa-based resilience art book. Unfortunately, it was not disseminated, so we'll be looking towards disseminating the same in this phase. And then, of course, we'll have stakeholder forums. This is not the last one, as the HOP has said, or end of programs. We value your inputs. We value your contribution towards success of this project. So we'll be having some of these forums for us to report back what is happening, and for you to give us guidance and also advices. Rehabilitation and structured improvement of one community managed earth dam. That one will work very closely with the water department. And then also one spring, also with the water department, we'll work closely to rehabilitate those. We're training water committees, because you can have structures, but if they are not well managed, they become useless, right? So we'll be training them on how to manage the dams, and of course the spring also. We'll support and strengthen operations of 2 farmer-based cooperative societies. These are the ones that we registered in the second phase. And then we'll train at least 5 lead farmers on local tree harvesting and utilization. This is specifically for charcoal. Watu wengi wanavuna inaitwa makaa inappropriately. Wanachoma, sio kuvuna. So we'll be looking towards training them, which are the appropriate ways, because some of these things are our needs, because we need charcoal, we need firewood, but what is the most appropriate way that we can do that very effectively? We have Mr. Forrester there, who will help us in that. For our finance institutions, we are looking to introduce a number of farmers to you for your services, of course, financing facilities that you have, which of course also we'll discuss with you further. And then we'll capacity build at least 5 women groups, 2 youth groups, and 2 PWDs groups on income generating activities. Then we also facilitate some lead farmers to train other livestock farmers. We facilitate establishment of local land indigenous trees, nurseries. Now you realize, like in the rivers, the exotic trees does not serve the best purpose for those catchment areas. So when you have the indigenous trees, it will be very good for us to restore the ecosystem. And then community-based tree nurse on agroforestry, we established that one. And then lastly, but not the least, is establish agroforestry demonstration farms. So that is a summary of what we'll do in this phase. Maybe there's something you would wish to be done, but not captured. We are not ruling it out. We can always have a way in which we can work out things, and also a way in which we can incorporate. Because we have partners, we have the other departments doing other things. We have projects like with NDMA 20. I'm sure they also have a number of activities. We, as our HOP has mentioned, partnership and common goal is our key focus. So we'll be able to do that. But even as we implement these activities, we expect to face some risks. One of them is overdependence. Who has mentioned that? I think it's the HOP who has mentioned overdependence. So of course we expect where we go somewhere and then people want us to do everything, which is not possible budgetary-wise. So we'll be able to, we expect that, but we have some mitigation measures. Political instability. Next year, need 2-term basis. At the 2-term basis? 1 term. So we expect this also to affect us because psychologically, in terms of availability, going to a campaign period, and also we expect even intruders in project activities. So mwanasiasa si anasimama MCA, si umeona hata mimi naweza simama MCA ama namna gani? So mtu anasimama MCA anasema nimesikia iko kwa mkutano hapa. Anakuja nampea nafasi anaongea 2 hours. So you know that affects project activity. We also possible resistance from some duty bearers. We are not saying those who are here will resist, but we expect some may not be willing to cooperate. Of course, environmental and weather uncertainties. We might expect to plant trees in maybe long rain, March, May. We might expect to plant in short rains, October, December. Alafu unapata hiyo mwezi ya kujanyesha kama last season. Tunapanda inakauka. Ina happen. Hiyo ndio tunaita mambo kwa ground. So we expect to be faced with those ones. And then we are expecting that now that we have a new partner who is taking over from another partner, and then we are asking ourselves, so what will be communities saying? So that is what we are saying. Maybe some communities may have, let me sit down and watch first. There are things that we expect in the project. And then, according to NDMA, food situation in Tharaka is worsening. So of course, one of the expectations is that there will be severe food shortage. I know the government is doing much in terms of relief food distribution, but you know that is not enough. Communities will still be at a dangerous position in terms of food security. So in terms of monitoring, Sijui Rua anasema nini, kama kuna kitu anataka kutuambia. Bwana Chief Katangasheni. Ni kama Rua anakuambia kitu hapo, utatuambia tukimaliza. So we have regular reports, some of which will be tabled in these stakeholder forums and CSG. NDMA mentioned that they will incorporate us in the CSG. Then we'll also receive beneficiary feedback regularly. They'll be telling us what is happening, what they like, what they don't like. And then, of course, there will be regular monitoring visits, as the HOP has mentioned. We'll continue to do ethical data collection. This is collecting data from participants and beneficiaries. And then we'll do a mid-term and end-term evaluation. Thank you so much. I'm allowing 5 minutes of question and answer session so that now we can close it officially. Najua kuna watu walianza kutupimia mashamba asubuhi. Kuna mtu hapa ametupimia eka kama 5 hivi. Lakini haina shida, tutanunua. So I'm allowing anybody with a question about the project. It can be the design, it can be the activities, it can be even management level. I'm sure we have even management of FPFK here who can answer for us. Any questions? Ama tunasema tumalize haraka haraka twende. Are we here? Ama tulienda? Tuko? Yes, Bwana Monik, then Bwana Zakari, then Chief. Yes.
I mentioned that we are cooperating for the trade and